Kuzampo, a very warm welcome to our weekly news magazine program, Bhutan This Week. My name is Samtandok. Our top stories this week. His Majesty the King graces opening ceremony of Parliament. Admission age into pre-primary changed from 6 to 5 years. And pending cases in courts increasing. His Majesty the King graced the opening ceremony of the third session of the Third Parliament. Other members of the royal family, representatives of the central monastic body, and foreign dignitaries were also present.
On behalf of the parliamentarians, the National Assembly Speaker Wangchu Namgyal expressed gratitude to His Majesty for gracing the ceremony and His Majesty's unwavering and continuous support.
ngachire gyakhabna chiktunda chikdigi gole labesi sako go yontodo da tapde toto sogop sumba najungi netangde dingduyun gyakhabya legira dindijo ru gyakhab shenkha lobe gomitso ngachire na tawchida nigi la imda gyakhabki maongbige netang sugi gole tensoda lamten su nami delo chisoki hole
The third session of the National Assembly will deliberate on two new tax bills, Goods and Services Tax Bill 2020 and Property Tax Bill 2020, alongside 7 amendment tax bills and other important bills. The session will also approve few conventions and agreements requiring immediate attention. The House will discuss on gender equality, decent work and economic growth, and climate action of the Sustainable Development Goals. Operations and management of farm shops and to include small development projects and common minimum infrastructure budgets directly with the Gewok budgets will be discussed as well. Giledem for BBS News.
Now, under the Income Tax Amendment Bill of Bhutan 2020, the government proposed to revise the basic personal income tax exemption limit. The proposed revision is from 200,000 item to 300,000 item. PIT tax could also increase from 25 to 30% for the highest income bracket, along with 10% surcharge on PIT equal to or more than 1 million. As per the government, the proposed amendment is expected to narrow the income gap. It will benefit over 21,000 taxpayers, 377 private companies, 12,571 business entities, and 122 pensioners, besides farmers engaged in cash crops.
다른 아저기 뇌포기 자르조지 피 뇌포 자르조 피미디 대다tung 아저기 책이라서 밥공기 책이나로 대 주로 메바베 자답 도치 베디 베와친 땡 아저기 펜타팔루 피미디 록 중기 대 렌도 좀비 소르난 주님에서 놓으십니다 대 디나로 펜타팔루 피미디 팔루라 펜 토베기 대 믹티 끼십니다 땡 아저기라서 밥공기 책디나로 대 주로 대 잡고메디 딜레텐디 인세슈네라.
Under the bill, the government also submitted to exempt tax on pension income and income from cash crops, as well as revise corporate income tax rate from 30 to 25% for companies other than state enterprises, and introduce a one-time income tax of 20% on all lottery winning prizes equal to or more than 5,000 item. Samtan Dolker, BBS News. The government also proposed to introduce sustainable development fee for regional tourists at 25% of the $65 per night hold. The $65 per night hold is the STF for international leisure tourists. Regional leisure tourists are those from India, Bangladesh and Maldives visiting Bhutan for the purpose of leisure and holiday. The levy is expected to generate additional revenue besides promoting Bhutan as a high-end tourism destination.
The Jumsen Zorang Achera, Tengacheragi, the Tangse Chunkuda, Negong Toyagi Tashigi Sijula, the high value, the low volume, the police tourism policy dila, Sijuda Tidibe, Dugia Kabdi, Tengachera Rintan Chengi, Tashigi Sanebe, Confetanigi Tenlu, the Pento Bombra Chumigi, Rewaki di Bebe, Tetari Chegdina, Tiningitelu, the Puin Sessionilla.
The National Council's Special Committee for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, or TVET, says the government failed to implement half of the recommendations passed by the House. The Special Committee, during its 23rd session in June last year, passed 18 recommendations to the government.
Establishing the National Institute of Technical Education, or NITE, professional development of instructors and trainees, and recruiting experts and trainers from other countries to strengthen professionalism in the TVET sector are some of the failures by the government.
Ngachigi dindep ka chobgi phidi yumigi nale halam jachale bawachin ngapchu dechi.
Out of 18 recommendations, only around 50% or half of the recommendations were implemented by the Ministry of Labour and Human Resources. In some cases, the recommendations could not be implemented, stating that the recommendations will be aligned with the Council for TVET, which is expected to be formed in July this year.
Noting that the budget allocation in TVET sectors are relatively low, the House had recommended the government to accord TVET sector as a priority both in national planning and budget allocation. The Special Committee conducted a hearing with the Labour Ministry recently to inquire on the progress made in the implementation of the committee's recommendations.
Secondly, we recommended the need for establishing National Institute of Technical Education, or NITE. Unfortunately, we were informed that the Labour Ministry didn't receive priority in the 12th five-year plan. Similarly, the Ministry failed to implement in developing human resource policy for TVET trainers and to accord dedicated HRD budget for the development of TVET system. Moreover, the Ministry has not considered our recommendation on developing a separate career structure for TVET professionals in the civil service that recognizes mastery skills and long years of experience to foster career progression.
The House during the last session recommended the review of governance and leadership, professional development, diversification of courses and curriculum, enhancing industrial linkages and collaborations, and financial support. The chairperson of the committee also suggested relooking and revisiting the recommendations before establishing the TVET Council in July this year. With additional information from Pema Chong, Sringdandu for BBS News.
And now the government has decided to bring down the admission age into pre-primary schools from 6 to 5 years. This will be implemented from this year. The decision was following an official order from Prime Minister's office. Admission into Class PP for the academic year 2020 is already over. However, for children who are 5 years old or will turn 5 before the classes commence, the Ministry is looking into extending the enrollment dates. This move has been made in line with the National Service or Gelsung program that will be instituted from 2022. With this implementation, the Ministry assumes the number of admissions to increase by around 8,000 children or more.
There might not be a problem in rural areas, but there is surely going to be a problem in urban areas. There are not enough spaces to even fit students who are 6 years of age and above. We also have a no exam policy from classes PP to 3, and we use formative assessment, which is why we are required to keep less students and its equivalent ratio of teachers. So with additional enrollment, this is going to be a challenge.
While he added that there are concerns over education quality being compromised, the ministry has already talked with concerned agencies to build new infrastructures and to recruit teacher assistants. He, however, added that the enrollment age of 5 and above will be strict.
This year, we will right away give them a deadline. For example, students of class PP will go to school starting 13th February. We are looking at whether we should put a deadline till then or look at other conditions. We haven't decided on it yet. After the decision is made, keep aside month or day. We wouldn't have any other considerations.
The ministry is positive that the 1000 Golden Day Plus program and its continuation programs like enrolling in ECCDs will help improve learning at an early age. Samtan Dolkar, BBS News.
Lured by a promising future when obligated by responsibilities, many Bhutanese women left for Iraq. But things were not as expected when they actually reached the land of promised opportunities. They share stories of anguish while wishing to return home as soon as possible.
According to sources, most women went to Iraq to work as housemates. The opportunity was advertised on social media. A few of them had also gone with those Bhutanese women who have been working there. We managed to talk with one of the women who returned after working in Iraq last month on the condition of anonymity. She said that she and her friends were promised a monthly salary of $350. The contract was for 2 years.
I did not know the working conditions in Iraq when I went from Bhutan. I thought I would be able to repay my loan by working there. But when I reached there, forget about repaying the loan. In fact, there was a risk of losing one's life. I used to cry even while having meals. We were made to work from 7 a.m. till 2:30 to 3 a.m. the next day. We did not get any break. We used to get rice once a week. For most times, we ate bread with curd and black tea. We were allowed to go out once a month, and that too from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m.
It is reported that currently more than 200 Bhutanese women are placed in different parts of Iraq. Most of them wish to return home but are held back by the contract terms. They have to pay an average of almost $4,500 if they breach the contract agreement.
There are many Bhutanese women like me who are still working in Iraq. Most of them wish to come back. They are asking me to help them return, but I cannot do anything alone. I keep on telling them to pray since I cannot help them immediately. There are many reports that Bhutanese women were harassed and physically abused at workplaces.
They said initially the agents told them that the work placement is somewhere near Dubai. The agents had cheated them.
When we came from Bhutan, we were told that we don't have to do more than one work. But here, we have to do multiple works, such as babysitting and other household chores. We have to even cook for honors. And when we say that we don't know how to cook, they scold us. They don't allow us to use mobile phones, thinking that we may spread the news about our conditions. But some of us use it without the knowledge of our owners. I'm chatting with you since my owner went outside at the moment. Please convey our message to the concerned authority asking to rescue us within this week. We have to stay worrying for most times. We are suffering here since we do not get any free time. We may die here. I will not have any regret if I die in Bhutan. I just want to see my mother's face. I'm not pretending to be suffering. Our employers do not keep us free even when we fall sick. I'm having a tough time. Sometimes we have to work without a proper meal.
During the recent Meet the Press session, the foreign minister said the government is working with relevant agencies to resolve the problem. He said the government has been able to track some unlicensed companies and individuals who had sent Bhutanese women to Iraq. The case is currently under investigation. Meanwhile, an official from the Labour Ministry said that the ministry does not have any registered national employment agency that sends Bhutanese to Iraq. The ministry is reminding every Bhutanese to contact them to authenticate employment agencies in such cases. For Pema Chong, this is Pasan Doji for BBS News.
The Mines and Minerals Amendment Bill 2020 will look at shifting the authority to provide services related to surface collection from the Agriculture and Forests Ministry to the Department of Geology and Mines of the Economic Affairs Ministry. This was one of the highlights during the first public hearing conducted on the bill recently.
During the hearing, Banbang's Member of the Parliament Doji Wangdi sought clarifications from the Ministry of Agriculture and Forests regarding the shift of the authority on the surface collections.
다들이 나처럼 윤림베라 달로 닥버지기 나길로 다니 서비스 컬렉션다 대 마닝기 대 서들이 bombe를 중에 주니라 다들이 나처나 텔카다 사트르기 제ik nik동니슈 제만날루 대 주르와디 같이 수노스 와진 대 다도슨세 바날로 선남기 랭카기 잘루 유미 삭하타살레 또 도티니라 속베기 대 라디기 테카입들로 디기 완스디야 다 나처럼기 대 텔카다 사트르기 대 제ik 날루 때 나만나시 chatim jonimela chatim la sukshimle tigi wansedi te machara sanam lenkalebe ta tengileng kala jo imbes chunila.
The Agriculture and Forest Secretary said both the Forest and Nature Conservation Act and the Mines and Minerals Management Act were passed in the year 1995. He added that the two acts created confusions during its implementation.
다디 남론 이동 구도주 함께 반알로디 인치미치 세고비 같이 했지. 다디 세니기 되는 중기 행기 중 속입에 디나 대가나한테 두세주니 대가나미나 같이 협세와진 디 사남다 나첼랭가나 야니 멤메 디디 땡길랭가나 투고 두세 때 땡길랭가루 아치기 가톨레 찌디마 표되는 세주니라. 다 아니 사톨레 둘린 베미 찌디마 피 베심다 다우치 다우니레지게 데마스베스 주니라. 다우치데 다우니게 남켈로 공개 라레니 레지메 탑마수 The
Director General of the Department of Geology and Mines said the government's motive behind must be the fact that the government has the required expertise. This move, he said, would ensure uniformity in providing services and taxations in the mining sector.
산남길 하나 저거배 라루나 땡길 하나 온거배 배달로 때 샤트 슈미딜로에 디탑 마도 bombe ime te na donsingi sundu zombera te gatelo shadeveru te dina chigu tenteve dina tsuna bachinde.
The public hearing was conducted after the National Assembly's Economic and Finance Committee's several rounds of public consultations with various stakeholders on the Mines and Minerals Bill 2020. It is expected to help in forming a comprehensive bill which will be tabled for deliberations in the upcoming session of the National Assembly next week. For Pema Chong, this is Pasang Doji for BBS News.
The total number of pending cases in the judicial system of Bhutan has been on the rise since 2016. As per the annual Judiciary Report 2019, of the 9,541 court cases registered last year, over 2,000 cases are still pending.
The increase of pending cases was significant in 2017 at 732. But in the following years, the difference started to gradually drop. Today, there are 2,692 cases pending. According to the annual report, the number of pending cases beyond 12 months has also been on the rise annually.
There are many reasons for the cases remaining pending. One is because a few of us take extra time during the investigation and focus on detailed study and research. And another reason is that we are currently losing many of our bench clerks to offices where they are paid better. And so, we are facing shortage of bench clerks. This affects investigation of several cases.
Further, the circumstances such as wait for forensic report, signature or thumb impression verification from experts outside country, complexities of cases, absconding respondents, and inability to trace witness are other reasons behind the cases remaining pending for a longer duration. Meanwhile, as per the report, the Dzongkhag and Dungkhag courts across the country received a total of 8,482 cases in 2019. Of it, Thimphu and Phintsaling courts registered the highest number of cases. More than half of the cases registered last year were civil in nature, and monetary cases topped the list. With regard to criminal cases, the category saw a decrease of 6% as compared to 2018. This is Pasang Doji for BBS News.
Unlike past years, the winter this time has been quite busy for the business community of Panbang and Jemgang. The season, in their words, treated them better. Thanks to the 10th Annual National Conference of Engineers, Architects and Planners. It was an event of a national scale the town hosted after quite a while.
Panbang town was alive this winter as more than 250 people from outside gathered for the conference. The town was a melting pot of thriving business opportunities for almost a month. Usually, meetings and conferences around this time happen in equally warmer but more developed towns than Panbang.
When such national conferences are held in Panbang, it benefits us a lot. We hope similar programs are conducted in future by other ministries and departments as well.
For a place like here, hosting a national conference brings an immense benefit for everyone. It helps further our business. It creates opportunities for everyone.
For the organizers, Panbang was not just an appropriate venue for such meetings in winter, but also a town with huge potentials.
In a small way, for the ministry, we want to distribute opportunities. Panbang has a huge potential for having tourism, and it's also an opportunity for the ministry to spread the income earning opportunity to other far and remote places within the country. So that's why we choose Panbang as the venue for our conference this year.
Meanwhile, the Jemgang Dzongkhag administration has many developmental activities for the town in the pipeline. According to its Songda, Panbang has to grow in terms of its facilities to cater to large groups of people.
We hosted 3 national conferences here so far, and we are learning through the mistakes we made and feedback we received. We will work on it all, and as time goes by, have the facilities required in place. We are in the process of improvement.
Besides, earlier this year, the Dzongkhag administration requested the ministries and various agencies to bring their winter activities, which today are normally Gelifu and Phintsaling centric, to Jemgang. And if this is heeded too, a district often claimed to be among the remote ones will be well on track to development. For Pema Samtrup in Jemgang, Sonamong the BBS News.
Highway signs serve a number of purposes, from alerting drivers of approaching sharp turns to bringing attention to speed limits and hazards. The signs help maintain safe driving conditions, but most often miscreants vandalize these signs, and so is the case along the Phintsaling-Samtse Internal Highway.
The road to Samtse begins here at the Amuchu Bridge. The 53-kilometer journey passes through scenic villages, and the highway is well maintained. However, with several blind curves and sharp turns along the way, road signs are not much of a help. There are 108 highway signs on this route, of which 68 have been damaged. The road signs were put up before the National Day celebrations in 2018.
During daytime, we are at work, so we do not know. I'm sure these signs are damaged at night, but we don't know who does it. We see the signs undamaged today, and when we go to work the next morning, it will be damaged. Some even go to an extent where the signposts are uprooted.
The Department of Roads in Samtsi spent 3,000 Newton to erect each one of these highway signs. The DOR office in Samtsi say these signposts are made of steel plates. Yes, the post itself is made of metal, but the board on which these signs are pasted on is made of plastics which are easily breakable. It was also found that some of the signposts were not erected with solid foundation. The DOR office in Samtsi said they are helpless when it comes to prohibiting such incidences. Officials added that they will inform local leaders during Zongkak Sokdu and Geok Sokde to create awareness among people. Sharabdoji, BBS News, Samtsi.
Well, that's all we have for this week. See you next time. Until then, this is Samson Doctor saying goodbye.